Well, good morning, Ron here. I'm coming down here to a waterfall or cascade not too far from my house. I was here yesterday morning and there's a little bit too much flow after the hard rain we had, but today I hope that the flow is diminished some. And one of the reasons I picked this location, I thought I was going to do a comparison of the Nikon Z50 Mark II and the Nikon Z8 with two different lenses, but I decided that I'm not going to do a comparison. I'm trying to compare apples to oranges when you're talking about crop sensors versus full frame, crop sensor lenses versus full frame lenses. So instead today what I want to do is take some photographs and just show you the differences in the photographs between the two camera sensors, the full frame and the crop sensor. So that is one of my goals today, is to just take some photographs to show those to you. It's sunrise, but it's foggy out. Got a little bit of atmosphere, but not so much down here in the woods. That's okay though. Let's go down here and check it out, see what the flow's like today. I could tell just by my ears already that the flow is a lot less than it was yesterday. So we had about 2 inches of rain on Wednesday, and this particular area is a drainage, so it looks better after a rain. And yesterday the water was just a little bit murky, but today I'm seeing where the water looks really nice. So we're going to walk on down the trail here a little ways, and I'm going to show you this this really nice little waterfall that's down here. Okay, I have arrived. It's not very far down. Let me show it to you real quick. Here's the little cascade, and you can see that the people who have built this trail, this is a hiking trail, have placed a little reflection bench here, right here by this little cascade. So what I'm going to do is work my way down. Let me show you real quick. Let me show you which way I'm going. I'm going to work my way down by this big, I guess it's a hemlock tree. This big old tree right here. I'm going to make my way down to the bottom so I can get down below the waterfall. Now, normally I just get in the water and walk on up in there, but I really don't want to do that today. The water's probably really cold, so I'm going to stay back this direction. I'll get my tripod set up, and I think what I'll do is get the Nikon Z8 out first and use it with the 14-30 Nikon f4 lens. Now, I also brought the 24-120 lens down for the Z8, and I'm doing some shots with that also, with the polarizer on there. And I want to tell you something, okay? I really like this 24-120 lens, and I just like it. I actually like it better here than the 14-30. I'm probably about 20 feet from the waterfall itself, so that lends itself better to this 24-120. Well, I did some testing with the two camera bodies, actually more with the Z8 than I did the Z50 Mark II, and I'll show you these images that I took in the video just a little bit. But one thing I do want to mention here, the Z50 Mark II is a remarkable crop sensor body, and I really had high hopes of using it for a landscape rig. Because of its lightweight, as I get older, I find that carrying all this weight doesn't make a lot of sense anymore. And you probably do too. But what I'm finding is I'm still drawn to the full frame sensor bodies. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do in the future, which camera body I'm going to be taking on my landscape junkets. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, okay? I believe it's going to be the Z8. The crop sensor, the Z50 Mark II with the 16 to 50 2.8 is a wonderful walk around. You know, if you're going to go to town and take some photographs of old cars or whatever, which I do. But for a serious landscape rig, and for the quality that you're going to get out of the full frame sensor, I probably, you know, would, if you're more of a serious hobbyist like me, I'd probably look more at the full frame bodies than I would at the crop sensor for my landscape opportunities. That's just me. That's just my opinion. You may have another opinion about that. If you do, leave me a comment in the video here and tell me what your opinion is. But I think for an entry level, somebody who's moving from like a D7500 or D7200 up into mirrorless, and they don't want to spend a lot of money to jump into it, the Z50 Mark II is a wonderful body. I've taken some really good bird photographs with it, wildlife photographs with it, using the 100 to 400 Z-mount lens. You can buy into the full frame lens ecosystem if you think you're going to go full frame later on, and you would have your full frame lenses already when you decided to go to a full frame camera, whether it be the Z5 II, the Z6 III, or the Z8. Okay, personally, I have the Z8 and I really love that camera body. It is big, it is heavy, but on its own, from a hiking standpoint, you put the 24 to 120 lens in your kit, you put the 14 to 30 lens in your kit, throw you in some filters and a lightweight Leo photo tripod like I got here, and you're good to go. Okay, you don't need to take all that heavy stuff with it. Now you start putting big lenses in your bag, like a 180 to 600, a 600 PF, any of those lenses, you're going to add quite a bit of weight to your backpack, and you're going to feel it, especially if you're hiking. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to come out and do some actual photographs, not comparison. I'm not comparing these two cameras to each other. There's no comparison. But I wanted to get some photographs to show you. So stay tuned in the video, and I'm going to show you those photographs with the commentary right now.
And here we are with the first image of the day. I used the Nikon Z50 Mark II and the 16 to 50 f2.8 lens to capture this photograph here. The settings on the camera were a 2-second exposure at f11, and the ISO was 100. I was using my Case Revolution magnetic filters that day, and on this particular lens is a 67mm thread, so I have bought an adapter ring to go from 67mm up to 77mm, which my Case Revolution filters are. And in this second image that I'm showing you, I was using the Nikon Z8 with the 24 to 120 f4 S-line lens. The settings for this image were 1/2 a second at f8 ISO 100, and the lens was zoomed out to about 26mm. On the previous image I just showed you with the Z50 Mark II, the zoom on it was set for 16mm. The processing on this image is different than the previous image, so the brightness and what have you are not identical, but basically the images are both very pleasing to look at from both camera bodies.
Now yesterday when I was here and the flow was a lot more, this little area right here was kind of just a white water. It's just a blur. But there's a lot more detail today, and upstream right up there is an interesting little cascade. It pays to come back to places like this, especially if you're close to home. That's why I like to photograph close to home, because you get a different feel for it at different times. But depending on like this here, depends on water flow, It depends on lighting, you know, is it cloudy out, is it foggy? So yeah, when you photograph close to home, that's one of the advantages to doing that, is being able to come back to a location and photograph it over and over again until you get the right composition and the right exposure that you are looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my way down to the bottom there. Really like this tree. I don't know if I could do something here or not. A little bit of a distraction right here. I'll get that out of my way. Nice little rhododendron right here. Let me set up right here and see what I could do. Now, one of the things I need to do, I think, is change lenses. Probably been better to do that up there. But I'm going to do it right here. I'm going to put the 14 to 30 back on the camera so I see a wide angle shot. I'm going to be real careful here because I'm on this hillside. This is where my robust tripod would have been better. I'm going to hold onto the camera while I compose things. I'm going to do a normal shot at about a half a second at f8. Let's go to 1/3 of a second. It's kind of cool looking. And I'll put the polarizer on it and we'll change our exposure to, well, about a half a second. Let me dial in some polarization. Actually, I think that looks pretty good. Let's try that, a half a second. I really like that. That's a cool shot right there. Let me show that to you in the video.
Changing locations and going farther downstream, I was able to locate this very interesting shot with the log leading line into the waterfall area, the cascade. The settings for this photograph were half a second at f8 at ISO 100, and I was using the 14 to 30 f4 lens on the Nikon Z8.
I didn't really need to come down here because I see where staying up above would be a better angle with this tree behind me. So what I want to do is throw my backpack up there and scamper back up to the top and try a different composition. So let me move you right over here so you can see what I'm talking about. You'll probably agree with me. This shot right here, straight down this tree, maybe set up on the right hand side, would be a pretty cool shot. Okay, that tree would be your leading line. So let me get set up here. Before I set up, I better grab my camera bag before gravity takes a hold. Let's get it up here where it's not gonna fall down in the creek. It's never happened to me, but there's a first time for everything. Now I'm going to use that 14 to 30 because that's going to exaggerate my field of view and probably make this this log look really, really good. Okay, let me get set up. Now I just took that shot. It's a horizontal shot. I'm not real happy with it. Let me show that to you in the video real quick, okay?
I did not spend any time editing this photograph. What I wanted to show you was basically what the horizontal composition looked like. I'm going to try a vertical shot next and see what it does.
I just took some photographs using the Z50 Mark II and the 16 to 50 2.8 lens with the Case Revolution circular polarizer on the front of it, okay? And I'm going to show you some of those photographs now from the Z50 Mark II. Like I said, we're not doing a comparison of these two cameras. We're actually just looking at photographs, okay? So look at these photographs from the Z50 Mark II and the 16 to 50 2.8 kit, not kit lens, the 16 to 50 f2.8 lens, and tell me in the comments which ones you like the best of those.
These are the images out of the Z50 Mark II using the 16 to 50 f2.8 lens. These were not edited at all. These were straight out of the camera. And as you can see, the Z50 Mark II and the 16 to 50 lens does a really good job of making some nice images.
All right, I'm going to reposition my tripod I moved the camera a little bit there so you can see me. I'm going to try to get right above this log, and I'm really wanting to use this log for my composition. I just like the way it does the leading line and what have you. So I'm going to have to get my tripod up just a tad bit higher so I can shoot down at that. And since I got the Z50 Mark II out, I'm just going to go ahead and try it first and see. It'll probably be a vertical shot. I believe you can see me there. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to use this tree as my leading line. I've come over here and kind of straddled it. Okay, what I've done is I did a focus stack here on this, and when I'm doing a focus stack, so I know when I get home in the computer, I hold 2 fingers up at the beginning of the focus stack, and then I hold 3 fingers up at the end of it, okay? And that's just my way of marking the focus stack so I can remember where they're at. All right, I just did this with the Z50 Mark II, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and look at those in the computer. We're at 8378, 8377, 8376.
So this is the vertical shot. This is 3 images that were focus stacked together in Photoshop. And the reason why I did a focus stack on this particular image was to get maximum sharpness from the foreground to the background, especially on this log right here. So each image was a ½ second exposure at f8 ISO 100, and even though the aperture was at f8, I still chose to focus stack this to maximize my chances of everything being in focus from the front to the back.
That's going to do it for this photography adventure, and it was pretty interesting to see what all the different lenses that I have on the Z8 and the Z50 Mark II can do, and hopefully you got some use out of this and it helps you decide what kind of Nikon camera body you might be looking for. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them. This is Ron Durant. I am a hobbyist photographer, not professional, but I've been doing it for a long time. And I live in East Tennessee, one of the most beautiful places on earth to do photography. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.